give me just a sec. Let me see. We're going to give it a minute for the notifications to go out. I'm just going to double check, make sure I'm live here, guys, before we get started. Ta-da-da. You guys, as you're popping on, just say hey, where you're watching from. Let me know you're there, please. All right, so I'm not even showing I'm live yet. Guys, a lot of times there's a little bit of a delay on it. So let me go back and come back in and see. All right, perfect. I'm here now. Oh, hey, Denise. Good to see you. Oh, my gosh. Did you guys get snow? It is. Oh, whoops. Good to see you. So you can tell it's a little bit behind. We did not get any snow, but we got super cold. We went from like 80 degrees down to like, I don't know, 22 last night, 19 tonight, I think, which is crazy for us. Guys, by the way, I'm in Huntsville, Alabama. And again, I'm Stacey. I'm the owner and artist of New Creations by Stacey. Hey, Michelle. Guys, if you're local, I have 2 store locations here. I'm at University Pickers in Huntsville, Alabama, as well as the Rustic Willow in Ardmore, Alabama. And then you can also visit my website at newcreationsbystacey.com. And there's actually a link for all of that in the description. I'm really active on Facebook, so all of these finished products are posted there. And you can either just search New Creations by Stacey on Facebook, but there's also a link in the description as well. So guys, before I forget, I always forget to say this. Please subscribe if you do not already on YouTube. I'm actually just trying to transition into more YouTube videos. So, all right, so we got Denise and Michelle on. Guys, if you watch this on replay, just hashtag replay, please. And by the way, in our chat here, all of these comments will disappear. Oh, really? No snow? Wow. I got my aunt on Saturday. She's from Ohio, and they got tons of snow. And I think Tennessee is supposed to get like 15 inches now. But lucky you, Denise. Hopefully it's not too cold. All right, guys, we are going to get started tonight. So last week, and I'm so sorry, I was not live last Wednesday night on Facebook, so I didn't do the second coat there, so we're a bit behind. I've had some stuff come up, so I'm actually have gotten like no paint time this week, or the past week, but, I should have moved that stool. I need that space over there. Yeah, actually, let me move this stool a little bit, guys, because I did not realize my little puppy dog is in here. Let's see. Well, clearly I didn't plan that out very well. That's all right. Let me move you guys back a little bit this way. All right, perfect. Here we go. So, guys, this is what we painted last week. As I painted around on this first layer, I did end up going a little darker with the peony. I decided that I pretty much just want that as an undertone. So we're not going to be using it tonight, but we are going to be blending with a couple different colors, and I might add one new color. But we're going to be using the flamingo for our dark part. We go really thin, so this pink may show through a little bit. And then we're also going to be blending. I want to show you guys something about blending. Flamingo, we're still going to be using apricot. And only because of this, and I want to stress, because this is what I have on the inside, I want to stress that just a tiny, tiny bit, because that has some yellows in it. Want to bring it all together. Might be adding just a tiny bit of lemonade to lighten it up, which is, guys, this is so old, which is so super light. Hey, Jody, good to see you. How about you guys? How's the weather there, Jody? You're in Washington, right? I don't know why I say right. I know you're in Washington State. I just can't believe how cold we are. Here's apricot. And then also, I've got a little buttercream out here that we may be using. Oh, thanks, Michelle. Thank you, guys. All right. So a little buttercream. So buttercream is really a nice white, but it has kind of some yellow undertones, and that's all to tie in the paper. Now, when it comes to the paper, I am going to be putting a little apricot in it as well. This is my baby Zoe, and she just wants to be in my lap right now. So let's go ahead. We're going to come over here and get started. And as usual, I'm going to be using, I'm going to use a round, large, but synthetic brushes. Always synthetic when I'm doing a nice smooth blend like this. And then we're going to be using a oval small brush for our apricot. And I've got a few art brushes out here as well to add in, like if I decide to do the lemonade or the buttercream. And then we want our blending brush, which, oh, it was right behind me. Oh, good luck, is our mini. And these are Dixie Belle synthetic brushes. Guys, they're a little bit pricey, but they are fabulous. And then we've got our Mr. bottle. This just has water in it. We're not doing any vinegar tonight or anything like that. Although I did almost change the color to blue, and I was going to do a vinegar wash on this. These are not my normal colors, but I'm just trying to do something different. Rainy, well, at least it's not snow. You guys have so much rain up there. And then we also want our lint-free paper towels. And this is to keep any excess paint or water off of our blending brush. And that's really, really important. So we're going to start off with this. Now, something I told you about last week that I did not do, but I'm going to for tonight, to kind of make, if you're new to blending, this is going to make the blending just a tad bit easier. And I did not get out any new stir sticks, so we're just going to use this with the peony. It's not going to hurt anything because I have so much flamingo in here. Guys, this flamingo is super old. So look, it's like, thank God that didn't fall out. It's like really, really thick. It'd be great to use as is for texture, but I lost my water bottle that I just, oh, here it is, brought in. Hold on. All right, there we go. Hopefully, you know what? These pants are huge. And they're so comfortable to paint in. I got them at Sam's for like $7. But, like, I feel like they're falling off of me. So anyway, I know you guys are here to watch me paint, not to talk about my pants, but here we go. All right, so I added quite a bit of water to that. I'm not sure. Yeah, there you go. You can see quite a bit of water, and I'm just going to stir this up. But you guys, you can always reactivate your paint. But even if it isn't this thick, if you're new to blending, add a little water to your paint, not that much. Thin it out, and that's going to make it stay active longer to give you a longer work time to bring your colors together. And that's important because this paint does dry very, very quickly. That's one of the easy things about oil paints. They do not dry fast. I mean, it takes days. But it doesn't dry fast, so you have tons of work time, so it's super easy to blend in oils. But when you're working with a quick dry paint, that's generally what makes it most difficult. Okay, so I've got that all mixed up. So now look at that. That's nice and thin again, good and smooth. I'm going to tell you, my apricot's a little thick too, but I am going to stir it up here, but I'm not going to add any water to it. Just going to give it a quick little stir, but see how thick it is? It's pretty thick too. Clearly not as thick as the flamingo, but thick. And then we've got our buttercream. I'm going to use the other end. And I'm just stirring this up because paint separates, guys, as it sits. And so I just want to get that kind of stirred up a little bit. All right, we're going to finally start now. Hey, Elena, good to see you. Oh, no, Denise, did you get it fixed? Denise said she got scammed there's so many scammers out there. It is horrible. I am so sorry. What happened? I think I just wiped paint in my hair. All right, so we're going to start over here. I'm not going to do the feet too much because I need to go in from behind and clean that up a little bit, make sure I have really good coverage. Oh no, I am so sorry. Oh, you know what? I will pray because maybe God is going to bless you with like double that amount or something, or oh gosh, oh, I just don't, I don't know. So many scammers out there. That's terrible. And then you have so much work too to just get everything. I know you are. I mean, I would be too. I just, that's awful. All right, guys, you're going to go really thick. I'm just going to pray about it. I am so sorry. Goodness. Was it on Facebook or I don't know. There's just so many different ways right now. You have to be so careful. All right, so I just went around here in Flamingo, and we're going to come back in with Apricot. And I kind of want to see, I don't know, maybe I'll add some pinks to this. What do you guys think? Guys, I'm just adding a tad bit of paint, a little bit here and there. And I'm not scrubbing in because now I want to keep some of these, like these recessed areas. I want to let those kind of keep that pinkish tint behind it, or whatever color is there from the initial layer of paint. So we're just going to take our mini, and I like to start with this as a dry brush. And the other brushes are fine wet, but your blending brush is better off dry. And first, I'm just going to kind of go around the edges here and transition these colors together. My paint is nice and workable, but if I feel it start to drag, that is when I will come back in and I don't know, maybe that peony, maybe I need to add a little bit in. I don't know though, I kind of like this. No, I think I'm going to stick with this. And all I'm doing, guys, is kind of moving my wrist back and forth. The motion is more in my wrist than it is in my arm as I'm transitioning these colors together. Now, guys, if I start seeing that I have a streak of color going somewhere that I don't want it to go, I'm just going to dab in there into the corner. Then that's when it's going to be time to wipe off my brush. But in this case, I don't use a lot of paint, so I don't have to wipe my brush nearly as much. Guys, if you're painting thick painting is going to make it really difficult for you to blend, as well as if you want to keep some separation with your colors, the paint is going to build up on your blending brush. I don't know, do you like the oranges or do you like it with the pinks? Let's see. Hey, Denise, good to see you. The other Denise. All right, here we go. Yeah, guys, let me know. I can't decide. I've got pink showing through right down here in the corner. You know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to leave this pink kind of in the crack down here. I'm going to take the excess paint on my blending brush, and I'm going to run it through here so that it's almost more like a dry brush, and that pink is really showing through at the bottom. I think I'm going to leave it that way. Same thing I'm going to do to the top. Because, guys, I am going to age this out. This will be my last layer of paint, but there are going to be other things that I do to this with probably some Best Dang wax. I'll be using gilding wax on here. I'll be doing some dry brushing on the edges to kind of give it a more distressed look. And you guys, this is just constantly going over, and I will bring you in because this is very, very subtle, especially what I'm doing over here. But I'm just using that excess paint, and I probably actually will not even do another layer. Like right down here, I'll let those pinks shine through. And let's see, do I want to add any? Let's see what a little bit of yellow would look like in here. Let's add it down here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this out. I just kind of want to see, ooh, actually, that yellow in this flamingo would really be pretty. Okay, I've got to fix this area, but I'm not going to do that on here right now. But that would be very pretty. I did not add any more paint to this brush that I'm using with the flamingo. I just kind of rubbed it on there, and now I'm just going over it to smooth it in. Let me see. I'm kind of waiting to see what you guys think on the pink. You like the pink in it? Just the pink is so pretty. Okay, so we're going to keep that. Oh, thanks, Denise. All right, so let's add some pinks into it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit more water. And let's keep it little, maybe. So let me grab my art brush. And let's grab the peony. You guys, this is actually the first time I have painted a piece of furniture in apricot and flamingo. So let's add some of these pinks in. Let's keep it light. No, let's not. Let's go darker. Or more, whatever I'm trying to say. This might be a situation where I have to move on and let this dry because we don't want to pull the paint back that I'm adding. But I'm going to go ahead and try to bring it through like this. And then let's go ahead and add a little bit more of the flamingo right around that area. We're going to come in. You guys, you want to hear something funny? So when I was doing the first coat, and I appreciate it so much, but there are so many talented paint people. But you know what? This really does not take a whole lot of painting talent, I'm telling you. The key with this is I started to see if I could do it left-handed. I don't want to do it on this spot because this isn't a normal blend. I'm actually fixing this up. I just lost a bristle. I'm actually just fixing this up to add that pink back in. So guys, I did not add any more of the apricot. And I'm going to see if I can just reactivate kind of this apricot that I have. Actually, I think I'm going to have to add some more. Yep, definitely am. Otherwise, I'm going to end up way too dark. You want to keep it nice and wet, though. Especially since my apricot is more thick. And let's go ahead and bring that. I've got to work just a little bit faster here. Get that apricot in. And I'm actually, because of I just did another coat under this, I'm actually using this brush that I apply the apricot with to kind of smooth that transition. That does make it a little bit easier. And where you move every time, where you're moving your brush every time, really depends on just where the paint is. So let's see. For example, this is a little bit lighter up here, so I'm just going to take my brush and kind of soften that up and move those colors around. I'm bringing that light up right now. So now let's say I want that off. I just need to wipe that excess paint off on my brush or on my paper towels here, and then just come in and move that paint around. Hold on. I will say also one thing, it is, to me, it's when you blend over texture, it's more forgiving. I just want to make sure all the areas look good since I'm doing this a second time. It's my last coat. We're going to bring some of these darks over. So I've got my wrist flicking. I'm just going up and down, bringing those darks over, wash my brush off, come back over here. That pink needs to blend in a little bit more, and then I'm coming over towards the center. Now let's say I want to move some of this apricot over. I'll start more over here and come over to the side. I really don't think about that a lot as I'm painting though. I'm just looking at how the colors are moving. That's something that changes from piece to piece. And I think, oh, yeah, good call, you guys. I love the peony on it on this second coat. That is fabulous. I love it. Oh, thanks, Elena. All right. So I'm loving how that looks. So we're going to go ahead. Let's go ahead and do this back panel. This is not one of the feet that I need to kind of go in behind and fix. It's those ball feet. Let me move my light back a little bit so you can see all the way down. So because this is still wet, I want to keep my water off of here. I just kind of mist it off to the side. These are all important little things. And we're going to take, for the peony though, I am going to continue to use an art brush because I don't want to get too much of the peony on here. Let's come down here with the peony as well. Come inside this part of the foot here. We'll come up. Let's bring the peony up a little farther on the back. Yep. And then, because this is the back, probably be more shadowed. Let's keep it kind of dark. I just used the same brush. I didn't mean to, but this is a small area, so it's perfect. And then I want to show you something. These brushes, these synthetic brushes are deceiving. They hold a ton of paint. You see how you can barely see the apricot that I added? It's so little. Watch this. That is all I needed. I'm offloading it. I'm just dabbing it on to offload it. And then we're going to come in again with the blending brush. And we're just going to kind of, now this way I'm going in a little X motion because I want to move that apricot kind of towards the back. I want to blend it into the side. Let's get it up here. Now I've got a lot of peony coming down. So I've got streaks of peony coming right across here. I need to stop. Otherwise, I'm going to get too much. It's not going to be the transition I want. So I'm going to wipe the excess off on the towels. And I'm going to come down here and just lightly, I've got no pressure on my brush. I'm just lightly feathering. Now let's go ahead and do, now for these top sections, I did this on here because I changed since we re-added the peony. I want to do these top sections. But it's going to be a situation where I don't want to spray water on what I've painted. So I just added a touch of peony to my art brush. And I'm just going to quick mist it. We're going to come over here and just kind of bring that in. You don't have to paint it all out. That's not necessary. I'm going to add a little bit more. Bring that right in there. And we're going to stick with the art brush. And that's because this is a small area. You do not want too much paint. So see, even with a tiny art brush, and I don't think I'm going to put much apricot up here. I think for the most part, I'm going to keep this flamingo. It's at the bottom, so that would typically be darker. It would be shaded by the top, which we're going to be staining. We're going to work on this Wednesday night too. I'm ready to get this kind of moved along and done. And I haven't had much chance. I've got 2 more commissions I'm getting ready to start. And I don't have a whole lot of time on the jewelry box. So we're going to finish this up between the 2 pages. And then all I'm doing is flicking this along the bottom. I want to get into that recess area. And now I do not want to add any apricot to blend, but I'm going to touch the side of my brush right along the high point here so that I have a little highlight. Very subtle. All of these things are super subtle, guys, but they make the difference. And I didn't quite mean to do that, so I'm just going to soften it up because I added a lot. It's not going to be a big deal. And just kind of highlight that on the side. So let's come around. Let's paint the front. Ugh. This thing is heavy, guys. And I've got the original casters on it. And I haven't put any, oh, I forgot to blend down there on the bottom of that foot. I forgot I had started that, but that's okay. Because I'll get it whenever I do the feet. And of course, I'll have to like touch up paint inside the drawer lips. But when you're blending, you want to keep your furniture together. Because, let's do this side first. You want to keep your furniture together because you want those highlights to be cohesive and all that good stuff. So this is super easy what we're going to do here. Just going to take our peony, kind of go along the crease. Let's bring some up from the bottom. I'm not messing with the feet right now. I'll get those later. That peony a little darker, little shading down here coming from the top. And let's get into some of these details. I'm going to scrub this in a little bit. Keep it darker. I don't want it too much because I've got that truffle still peeking through that we did last week. And then let's take same brush and let's use our flamingo. And we'll come down here mostly with the flamingo here and keep these sides a little bit darker. I'm down with that flamingo. And then again, super, super tiny amount of paint. Like, all right, there we go. So we've got that flamingo in there to get, or excuse me, apricot to give it its highlight. Make sure our blending brush, I'm just going to go in a little circle up here. It's a small spot. I'm using a 2-inch brush. Bring some of that pink over here. Let's bring some of that peony up. So I'm not going like this with my brush either. When I'm bringing this peony up, I'm just brushing up. That is going to bring some of that flamingo down here when I come back, unless I wipe my brush in between every time. But the pressure you put on your brush is also going to make a difference as far as whether you're actually bringing your colors together or you're just feathering it out to eliminate brush strokes. I put a lot of pressure on my brush when I'm bringing them together. A lot more pressure. And then very, very light when I'm just feathering it out. And all I'm doing is coming back in with my art brush. I put a little bit of apricot on here. I'm not going to blend this part in. All I want to do is start layering these flowers so I have lots. I'm just adding that depth. I start adding that depth and dimension like immediately. It's not something that I just do last. It's throughout the whole paint job. There we go. So now, and I'll bring you guys in so you can see a close-up of all this. Let's go ahead and paint this front. Oh yeah, we're quick. You guys, I am so fast though when I'm not live. Generally, I'm so slow when I'm live. But for example, it took me 45 minutes just to paint this and this on a live, but it only took me 40 minutes to paint the entire rest of the first coat on this piece. So it definitely varies. Uh-oh, I lost the chat. Let's see if I can get it back. Oh, yeah, perfect. Oh, thanks, Denise. All right, perfect. So you guys, I love the chats on here. I feel like I can pay attention so much easier than I can on the Facebook Lives. But on the Facebook Lives, they last, so I can go back and look at them. Here, I cannot see it afterwards. So I'm just wetting this down. We won't paint this though because I've got to go in. Maybe I'll do that fix after we paint this section. Anyway, so we're going to take our peony and we're going to come in here at the top. Okay, my brush, so that's not pure peony. My brush has just gotten really, really, I don't know what I'm trying to say. You guys, I have problems finding my words, but all the paint kind of got mixed together, so it's not one color or the other. So I'm just gonna kind of soften that up. After I wiped off the color, I'm gonna put it back in the peony here. I wanna go kind of around maybe the edges on this top, across there, and then we'll do the bottom in a little bit. Let's blend out this top section. See, I'm going over here. It's fine. I'm going to blend that out. Still going to blend in. It's going to come up right there with the color. And then we're going to go back to our round, large synthetic brush because I am going to add quite a bit more of the flamingo in here. I've got tons of molds. So I'm going to kind of scrub it in a little bit. And we're going to come over here. Let's add some. Ooh, that was way too much paint. So if you get too much paint, you can wipe it off. Or in this case, I'm just angling my brush. So I'm actually scooping the paint back onto my brush instead of offloading it on here. And let's get a little bit up here. Yeah. Let's blend that in and see how it looks. I haven't put any of the apricot on yet, but really I just want to kind of highlight the molds with the apricot more so on this part. Let's bring some of that peony in, I think right here, maybe a little bit more on the sides. Kind of like, I'm liking how this looks on the second coat. So definitely the coverage of your paint makes a difference. And you guys, you don't always have to have it solid. A lot of times I do really watercolory finishes over a nice blendy base coat, and that gives it so much depth as well. And in here, I'm kind of wiping some of that excess paint off. I need to keep it really thin here because the way the drawer slides. So I'm just getting some of that excess paint off there. And then we're coming in. So I've got quite a bit of truffle showing through on these particular molds, and that's going to look great. It looks a little weird right now, but once I start doing the aging process, that's going to really blend in a lot better. Boy, these colors are pretty blended together too, even without the apricot as well. But now I want to lighten this up. So we're going to come in with apricot. And in this case, I'm not putting a lot of pressure on my brush, very little paint. All I'm doing is I'm pretty much keeping it on the high points because I'm not wanting to get a lot of this apricot into the details. I want to keep that depth. So I'm going to come back in now with my blending brush again, and I'm just going to kind of soften that up some on the molding. I'm doing this very light because, again, I don't want to take that apricot into a lot of the depth, but I'm also bringing it out to the sides. I've got a lot of texture going on from our stamps that we did. Taking that light apricot down here to highlight this. Guys, the key is thin layers, but still I only do 2. I do not like to do more than 2 layers of paint. Truffle was not all over it. I only put it in the details. All right, now let's get this down here because I didn't do that. Get a little bit of peony. I'll put that on the sides here. Kind of where the details are. I want to come down here with it. And you know what? Things are typically darker on the bottom. Let's just go with some more peony down here. Keep that dark color. Darker. I'm just kind of scrub it in off to the sides. And this is, let's keep these separate. come in with a little bit of flamingo. This is my round brush. This is all the flamingo, and I'm not even going to offload all of it. I just want to get some of it in here. And then, again, I did not scrub it in. I want that truffle to show. But we are going to do the same thing, just these two colors, and then I'll come back in on this area and add just a touch of apricot. Just a touch. Just to give it a nice highlight. Let's highlight these little molds down here. And I'll be dry brushing these. We're actually, we might be doing it Wednesday night. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how far I'll be along, because after this coat, I will do one coat of a satin protectant so that I can start doing my detail work. Just blending in a little bit more up there. I'm going to come back over here and highlight some of these edges. A little highlight there. All right, perfect. So I think I want a little bit of so look, guys, when I tell you, can you even see the paint I added? I just want to go over this, and I don't want this to blend in. I just want to highlight, and I'm going to bring you in right now so you can kind of see some of this. Ooh, got a little bit much over there, but that's okay. Just want to highlight some of this molding, keeping it super light. You can do this with the dry brush after the fact, but like I said, as I go along, I always kind of work this in here and there. I love all this added depth. So let me bring you guys in so you can see this part close up. And you see that, guys? Look at all that depth. It's gorgeous. And that truffle looks a little weird under there, but once I add the aging to it and kind of grunge it up a little bit, it's going to be perfect. Perfect. All right. So I'm going to set you guys back down. And I'll show you my little fix I'm going to do here in the middle, because before I do the second coat, oh, I can't. I don't have, I'm sorry. I can't. I do not have any, I do not have my Dixie mud out here. It's in the fridge, guys. But can you see the difference? This is two thin coats. And look how, like, this is much lighter just because you're seeing the color of that base truffle behind here, behind this very thin coat. Over here, we've got the two coats of the paint on it. And so you're getting a much more opaque, pure color. When I add the satin to it, it's going to deepen and enrichen that. So it's going to be, I mean, it's going to be gorgeous. And then once we start aging it, oh, I can't wait. That is the fun part for me, like where, Denise, do you feel the same way? Like where it all starts to come together? Oh, good. I'm so glad you can. Just don't zoom in on me, you guys. Even from the side, sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, you can, like, I can see my age there, you know, because in my head, I'm not that old. Anyway, again, I digress. The rest of this, I'll do the same. I will come back with some Dixie mud, take my art brush and just kind of stipple a little on here because I just didn't do that texture in this area. I did it up here. I don't know how I missed that, but I did. So I just have to come back in and touch it up. I don't have to, but I think it's going to look weird if I don't. But yeah, I'm super excited. I'm loving how this is coming together. And I'm glad you guys said to add the pink back in because I think I would have been unhappy and done it after the fact anyway. So guys, I'm just going to go through the comments right quick. Make sure that I didn't miss anything. And on Wednesday night, I'll be live on Facebook, 6 Central Standard Time, same time. And we will probably, well, you guys tell me. The next step is a satin clear coat. A lot of times I try not to do that live because I feel like it's kind of boring. But if you want to see it live, I'll save a section. We'll do that live. I'll protect another section and we will start doing like some dry brushing on it because I'm definitely going to come in with some, I thought this was going to be, I was going to go a lot more pastel. I'm going to come in and do like the leaves and some muted greens and browns kind of. And the flowers we're going to do to match these up here on the decoupage paper. But it's going to be more artistic, like more artistic dry brushing on these. But it's super easy. But if you guys don't want to see the clear coat, I'll just skip over that. So just let me know what you want to see. Oh, thanks, Jody. Let's see here. All right. Well, I've just, oh, there we go. Okay. I'm just going to scroll through these right quick, guys. And again, please hit that subscribe button if you have not already. I'm really trying to grow this YouTube page because it does save the lives forever, so you can have access to them over and over. Facebook is deleting at 30 days now. So definitely. Let's see here. It had two, hey Jennifer. You know what? I had to back, like I was waiting for the live to come on, but then I had to back out of it for me to actually see the live and go into it so that I could interact with you guys with the chat. So I guess it was maybe showing up as two different options for me too. I'm learning a lot about YouTube here as far as being live and posting on here. So Grace, please. Oh, guys, and Wednesdays are paint and prayer. The only reason I'm not doing it Monday nights is because these comments disappear as soon as I end this live. But paint and prayer, guys. Let's just be positive and lift each other up. Oh, yeah, this piece was nuts when I started it. I had to remove so much veneer. I've got all that on video as well. But I had to remove quite a bit of the veneer on it. I think 3 sides of veneer over here. It was just a mess. Oh, we'll probably be staining too next week. This is like, I sanded this, but it's still not perfect. It's just so old and aged. So we're going to do some dry brushing and stuff like that under the stain. Put the oil-based stain on. So that it'll have depth and it'll just look like it's aged. Yes, you guys, thank you so much. Good call on the pink. I think it's pink isn't my color, so I have trouble like maintaining a peak piece. I love it though, showing through. Oh, Denise, I'm praying. I'm going back through these comments again. I almost couldn't even continue because I can just imagine how awful that is. Awful on so many different levels. You're good with skipping the clear day, right? I feel like it's so boring. I'd like to see you satin coat a molding. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can do that. Yes, there is, Brenda. It was actually 2 weeks ago here on YouTube. So if you just scroll back a little bit, like if you go to my homepage, scroll back a little bit, it should pop up. But I did the stamps and I did the raised molding live as well, and decoupage. I decoupaged inside also. So all of that is on the same live. And I use the stamps not in the way traditionally you would use stamps. I use them to create texture. Well, you'll see. If you go in, you'll see. It was the first time I had done that, but I love it. All right, guys, so I don't think I missed anything in the chat. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. Again, we'll be working on this live Wednesday night. We'll be doing several different steps. I plan to have it quicker. And the only thing we'll protect, I'll just keep one of the molded areas and we'll protect that. And we'll work on the next fun steps that make it look cool. All right. Thanks, guys. Have an awesome night and see you Wednesday. Thanks, Elena. Thanks, Denise. Bye-bye, guys.